Hey, Paul, if you and I were going to play in a pickup game, would you let me have all the first players and you get left whoever I don't pick?
No.
No? You know, I think people in life have to realize that the people you surround with are your team and you should choose wisely. Paul, I think it's important for people to understand that you're often the product of the people you surround yourself with. So you should definitely choose wisely. You had I think, a great experience with the guys you played with at SC. Talk about the culture and the work ethic and have that team. You didn't pick it, you were recruited onto it, but still how having that team influenced you and how you guys all influenced each other.
Amazing group of guys, coaches that all wanted the same thing, that all pulled in the same direction, that all set the bar incredibly high. Everybody put more time in that they were supposed to. Everybody wanted it more. Everybody trusted each other, respected each other. There were no stars on that team. I think probably because we had so many good players that, you know, no one could step out and say, okay, I'm the reason we're doing what we're doing. There's so many great players, and it was just this amazing chemistry that we had on the team. Talent, leadership, and respect.
Yeah. You guys practice hard? Were the practices pretty intense?
Practices were many times more challenging than the games. They'd be wars at practice.
Right.
We'd have live pass rush drills, okay, with the first team defense and the first team offense.
Right.
And by the way, the defense knew it was a pass. Okay, so they pinned their ears back. They were coming. They were coming after me.
Right.
One particular practice, I got hit in the right leg. I went down for a play. Jack Ward, the head trainer, came over, gave me a sleeve, put the sleeve on, just in case there was any going to be swollen. They would compress it. One very next play, got knocked down again. Left knee, went down.
You weren't wearing the gold or red shirt or the whatever the color was for the Trojans?
They didn't have that. Then I got pissed off and I started yelling at the offensive linemen, who were like all-world offensive line. Because I'm not used to this now. Getting knocked down. Yeah. Not knocked down once, but twice in a row.
It's because the defense you were practicing against was better than the defenses you played on other teams on Saturdays.
Yes, iron sharpens iron.
Right.
There's no question about it. So I'm yelling at the offensive line. Hudson Howe, arguably the greatest offensive line coach in the history of football, for that matter. He's top 5 probably.
Right.
Okay. He steps in front of me and starts defending his guys to me.
And you're like, knee.
He says, Paul, look at these guys. Look at these guys. He pointed behind him. They all, look at ACLs and ACLs. They all have knee surgery. They would take a bullet for you.
Right.
I go, okay. Next play, hack. What's the next play? we were back in.
And you're back.
But would there be wars? I remember Anthony Munoz, our freshman year. Anthony Munoz, NFL Hall of Famer, came in the same class that I came in 1976. He went up against a guy named Gary Jeter, who was an All-American, had a phenomenal career in the NFL, mostly with the Giants. Right. Toward the end of practice, Coach Robinson says, Moon, come on over here. Gary, get over here. One-on-one. The whole team.
Yeah.
The whole team, everybody.
You got the
90 guys.
You got the 2 big ones right there.
Right there.
Right.
And Munoz was a freshman.
Uh-huh.
And, I mean, you want to guess who won that battle?
It wasn't Jeter.
Wasn't Jeter. Moon took him up and boom! Drove him into the ground and the place went crazy. So we'd have these all-out wars in practice. So the game was like fun.
Yeah. So you were on a team where that culture was across the board, and you didn't have a choice to make because everybody was working hard.
Yeah.
But sometimes you get on a team where the chemistry's not there, the culture's not there, and there's guys who go to practice and they work, and there's guys who go to practice and they drift. And that's where you as a player have to make a choice. which camp am I going to pick? Who's my team within the team? Am I going to go over there and do my thing and get better? Or am I going to go over there and just joke around? So talk about that. Talk about how sometimes we as individuals, we can't do it all ourselves. You know, we need the support of others. We're not an island. Success breeds success. All these things you hear. Talk about needing to, for a young athlete, pick the right group of guys to work with, the ones who actually want to go work and not just goof around.
Yeah, because we want to be liked.
Right.
We want to have our posse. We want to have our people,
right,
our peeps.
Right. So joking around and being funny becomes the thing.
Whatever your thing is, you're going to connect and attract more to that crowd, whatever that might be. If it's joking around or having fun or not taking it too seriously, but game day, I'll strap it on, I'll be ready to go. That's not the best way to success.
Right.
And you want to have everybody on the same page. You don't want to have pockets of people. And that's leadership. That's leadership, not the coaches. The coaches are going to say what they're going to say, but players can then tune them out. But you need to have the stud players in each of those groups setting the bar.
Yeah.
And those people need to be on the same page.
Yeah.
And those people need to be calling other people out for not giving it 110% every night. Not 110. We say that word loosely. It's 100%.
Right.
That's the maximum every time you're out there. And I go back to, if you love what you're doing, you want to.
Right.
You want to do that. You want to do your best. You want to put that best effort forward. And when you do on a team setting, that's going to push the other player on the opposite side, and they're going to get better in turn, and back and forth, and vice versa. So that's when you know you've got this thing free flowing. But it is a choice that people have to make. Which camp am I going to be in? And that all relates to, why are you doing what you're doing?
Right.
How important is this to me? How good do you want to become? Where do you want to go with this? If you just want to goof around and show up and hang out, you're not going to play much.
Yeah.
You might have a good time, might have fun.
And then, by the way, that's
That's
okay.
okay.
It's just you're out there to have fun, and you're not going to put the work into it.
That doesn't breed success. That doesn't breed championships.
No. I guess the point I'm going with this is sometimes none of us are perfect, and we're all influenced by others. And if you have certain aspirations in life, you should definitely surround yourself with similar-minded people who also have aspirations in life, because there is a certain amount of peer pressure or just group mentality that goes into whomever you hang out with. And if you're the kid who really wants it and is going to go out and work and do all the things to be successful, but all of your peers don't, you'll find yourself in a position of like an awkwardness. But if you can find other folks like yourself, and they don't have to be exclusively, but if you find other kids like yourself who do want, some more from life, and you want to do the work, you're gonna feel better about it, because you're gonna be pushing each other and helping each other and supporting each other rather than doing it just by yourself.
It's hard for somebody that's a player that's in a situation on a team where most of the other players on the team are not taking it very seriously. They're just being very casual out there. It takes a lot of courage for this individual or few players to set the bar for all the others. But again, if it's really that important to you, you'll do it.
Yeah.
You'll do it. And hopefully some of these players will come over to your side, and that's when you have something going on.
Right.
You want to pick people that are similarly aligned to you.
Yeah.
And if you have aspirations, you want to be around people that have higher aspirations than you do.
Right.
Because they're going to draft. You're going to draft behind them, and you're going to raise your game in every way. And that's just not sports. That's academics. That's everything. That's life.
Everything. Yeah. And the other important thing, as you're sort of picking those folks in your life who you're going to go on that great journey with, is pick people who are going to be supportive of you, because you're going to have times in your life when you need their support. And the best way to earn that support of others is to be supportive of yourself, right? Be a good friend. And a lot of times I think people, when they're picking their friends, when they're young especially, maybe it's just by a matter of circumstance, they just happen to live on the same block or whatever.
Yeah.
But ultimately, you want to be around people who have your back and whose back you have.
Yeah, it all starts with you.
Yeah.
Or me.
Right.
And if we're coming from a giving, friendly manner, then that will naturally be reciprocated over time. Yeah. May not be right away. But yeah, I think that's a great way to view it. That's a great way to look at life, is think about the other guy first. That's true friendship. Mm-hmm. And don't expect anything in return.
Right. Coach Geno, University of Connecticut basketball coach, when he recruits players, he recruits body language. And that's an important lesson for young athletes to learn is recruiters are watching your body language. And if they see that you're not being very supportive of your teammates, they make note of that. He does it so much so that he actually puts game film on his own bench during games.
Right.
And he has his staff and himself watch how the team reacts to certain plays throughout the game. Are they moping because they're not in the game? Or are they up cheering their teammates on? And this is a guy who's won 11 national championships, so he kind of knows a little things about picking a team, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's important to be supportive of others and to showcase that in everything you do, and not just pick and choose when you want to be supportive.
Yeah, doesn't he looks for those players on his team that have enthusiasm,
Right?
even though they're not on the court or on the field or on the track or wherever they are. They're just glad to be there. They're glad to be part of the team, and that's I think part of that story is a sense of frustration. I think that came through a press conference that he was addressing this whole thing.
Yeah.
A sense of frustration of maybe this generation,
Right.
Of feeling like it's all about me.
Yep.
And the best teams, for sure, you could have a team of the 5-star guys that are all about me, best talented, and give me a team that cares about one another, respects one another, that outworks one another, supports one another. A bunch of 3- and 4-star guys or 2-star guys.
Right.
Give me that team, and we'll
Right.
beat these guys.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, and if you're the kid who ends up on the bench, because sometimes you do,
Yep.
you can be one of two guys, or gals. You could be the one that's sitting there with their head down, or you could be the one waving the towel over the head, cheering on your teammates. And your coaches notice, and other coaches notice. So again, if you're that kid who ends up on the bench, and there's recruiters there that day, don't show them that you're down. Be a positive, supportive teammate. You might be surprised that that's how you get recruited, not what you did on the court.
Oftentimes, Jack, it's not the best player on the team. It might be a walk-on. It might be someone that doesn't see many minutes. That can have a huge impact
Right.
on the success of the team.
Right.
They can in their way, and maybe that's it. It's self-sacrifice. It's being self-effacing. It's being humble. It's doing those things for the team that others are not willing to do.
No doubt about it. Every player on a team adds value.
Yeah.
It might not be during game time. It might be during practice time. It might be cheering on your teammates during game time. Whatever it is, every player contributes. And if you view it from that prism, then whatever you do is great. Whatever you do is supportive of the team, and that's why you're there. Whether it's to be on the bench, to be in the game, whether it's to be a great practice player. I mean, your son Michael was a walk-on at SC, and he ended up getting a scholarship because he was a great teammate.
That's correct. That's correct. And he helped the team when he didn't have to, because the coaches asked him, and he was supportive. And he had a great relationship. He had great relationships with everybody on the team. Many of those guys he's still in touch with to this day, which when he played was like 15, 16 years ago. And they're still staying in touch, and they've got a great relationship now. They did win a lot back then with Pete Carroll, but that's an indicator of somebody that cared about other people.
Right. Yeah, they wouldn't still be friends with him 15 years later if he was a walk-on, didn't play, and just moped the whole time. They'd be like, "Who's this mopey dude?
Exactly.
I'm not going to be friends with this guy."
Yeah, exactly. So it's really important when you have the chance to pick your team, but even within a large team, a football team, there's many different micro economies going on where you can pick. You can be in this area, you can be in this clique, you can be in that clique. And so you want to be in the side of things that is giving to other people, that cares about the team first, above themselves, and is willing to do whatever it takes to help the team be successful.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, that's what life's all about, is right? Just being supportive, being helpful, and being good to other people, and good things come to you.
Always.
Hey, Paul.
Yeah.
This is the part where we're supposed to tell people to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Okay, will you please do that then? I mean,
Yeah.
if you enjoy it,
Yeah.
please do.
And if you don't, do it anyways, because we need your help.
We do.
Also, we have a website called GameChangeNation.com. Just go there and subscribe, and you'll get tons of free content.
And what we're really trying to do is create a community of people that love sports.
Yep.
And the great lessons that we learn from sports, but we want to hear from you.
We do. So we're going to have a bunch of social media pages from TikTok to Instagram to Twitter to Facebook, Instagram. I probably already said all of them. Please join them and tell us your stories. We'd love to hear from you. Oh, and we wrote a book.
Oh,
Forgot about that.
Forgot that.
The book is called Through the Tunnel. It's available on Amazon now. If you go straight down here to this link that you can see below us, you will be able to purchase it. We'd love it if you could do it.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.